Hello friends, this is Dr. Mamta Rathi. Dr. Mamta's Educational Plex में I will welcome all of you. In this video, we will discuss our issue of shares problem, and particularly we will discuss about forfeiture and reissue of shares. In this video, I have given one problem with its solution, and in this we will focus on the forfeiture and reissue of our shares. So let us first proceed with our problem. I will read the problem first. Rathi Industries Limited issued 11,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, payable as follows. On application, rupees 20 per share. On allotment, rupees 30 per share. On first call, rupees 25 per share, and on final call, rupees 25 per share. The company received application for 10,000 shares. All the applications were accepted. The directors made both the calls. One shareholder holding 100 shares failed to pay the final call. His shares were forfeited and reissued as fully paid at rupees 90 per share. Pass journal entries and show the balance sheet. So friends, this is our problem. As I always used to tell you that firstly, while calculating any accounting solution, we have to go through keenly with the information given into the problem. So we must categorize, or we must focus, or we must highlight our problem and hidden information into this problem. So we will first go through the information in our problem. So friends, I have read the problem already, but we will highlight some information so that we can go through the calculation part. Here firstly we have to notice that the company has issued 11,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. Face value of each share is rupees 100 and company has issued 11,000 equity shares. Now the allotment of these 100 rupees is made of rupees 20, rupees 30, rupees 25 and rupees 25 in 4 installments. So these 4 installments are known as application, allotment, first call and final call. So out of these 11,000 equity shares issued, company has received application for 10,000 shares only. So here we can understand that this is a problem of under subscription, because company has issued 11,000 equity shares but the application received are 10,000. It means we have not received application of 1,000 shares. We have under subscription of shares. Now all the applications were accepted and directors had made both the calls. It means that all the calls are made successfully and money has been received on each installment. But here one more information is given that one shareholder holding 100 shares failed to pay final call. Now the shareholder who has holded 100 shares has not paid his final call. Final call is of rupees 25 per share. So for 100 shares, rupees 25 on final call has not received. So these 100 shares will be shares in arrears for our company. Next information we have given that these 100 shares has been forfeited and reissued as fully paid. Now these 100 shares which are in arrears has forfeited and we have to reissue these shares at fully paid, but the amount fixed for the reissue is rupees 90. Now students, we can understand that the face value of our share is rupees 100 each, but we are reissuing our shares at rupees 90 per share. It means that we are reissuing our shares at discount. So friends, this is a highlighted information of our problem. I will summarize one more time so that we can understand it easily. The company has issued 11,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. The 100 rupees is categorized into the 4 installments. On application rupees 20, on allotment rupees 30, on first call rupees 25 and on final call rupees 25. Company has received application for 10,000 shares. It means the company has received application. It is under subscription. first two calls were made successfully, but one shareholder who has holded 100 shares has failed to pay his final call. Now, these 100 shares which are failed or which are in arrears, these shares were forfeited and the same shares were reissued as fully paid at rupees 90. It means reissue is made under discount. So, this is our problem. Now, to solve our issue of shares problem, we have to first go through our statement of issue of shares. Here you can see the format of statement of issue of shares. How to solve statement of issue of shares, I have told you in an earlier video. If you want to go through that video, please click on the link given above and you can go through the analytical table or statement of issue of shares calculation. So friends, here we will discuss about our statement of issue of shares. This preparation of calculation is very essential while solving issue of shares problem, because by the calculation of this table we will completely finish our calculation part 100% in this table. Now the only part remain is to put this amount into our journal entries. So this calculation part is very essential, very important. You must understand each and every calculation properly. So let us proceed with this table. Here you can see there are 6 columns. First column is of installments. Second column is of number of applications per share. Third column is of amount due. Fourth column is of amount received. Fifth column is of excess amount. And last column is of arrears. So we will proceed with one by one column. We will first write down our all installments in our installment column. Now we can understand by our problem, by our information, that we have 4 installment: application, allotment, first call and final call. So we will write down these first. Firstly we will write application rupees 20, allotment rupees 30, first call rupees 25 and final call rupees 25. In total we can see that the total of rupees 100, it means that share has been divided into the 4 installment: 20, 30, 25 and 25. So total becomes 100 rupees. Now number of application per share. Now company has issued 11,000 shares, but application we have received is only 10,000. So number of application per share will be 10,000 on application, and same the received application we have allotted all the received applications. So allotment is of 10,000, first call is made on 10,000 shares and second call is also made on 10,000 shares. Now with the help of these 2 columns we can calculate the third column, that is amount due. Now we know that we have issued 11,000 shares but we have received 10,000 shares. Now 10,000 shares we have received, it means that we have an application of 10,000 shares and we have decided our amount of application at rupees 20. So here you can see that I have given calculation in brackets so that you can understand easily how the amount comes here. So I have given in bracket 10,000 multiplied by 20, 10,000 shares multiplied by 20 per application, 20 rupees per share. So the amount due on application comes to rupees 2 lakh. Likewise allotment, 10,000 shares and allotment money is fixed at rupees 30. So calculation comes at rupees 3 lakh. Same happens with first call, 10,000 shares and amount fixed for first call is rupees 25. So calculation will come to 2,50,000. And for final call also 2,50,000. 10,000 shares into 25,000 of final call. So this is amount due. So these are the amount due on our installments. Now we have to calculate our amount received. In our problem we have given the information that all the calls are made except 100 shares on final calls. It means that application money is received fully. So we have written here 2 lakh rupees. Those amount which is due is received fully. Likewise on allotment also amount due was rupees 3 lakh and received was also fully received, so 3 lakh is written here. On first call also amount rupees 2,50,000 was due and amount received is also 2,50,000. But on final call 100 shares, on 100 shares the amount has not received. So we have to write down here that we have received amount of 9,900 shares only. So the calculation here comes to 9,900 multiplied by 25 of final call. So amount comes to 2,47,500. Now here we have received amount of 9,900 shares only. So 100 shares are in arrears. So 100 shares, on 100 shares only final call is not made. So 25 rupees of final call. So 100 multiplied by 25, amount comes to 2,500 rupees are in arrears. So these 100 shares are in arrears, which valuation is become 2,500. So here we can see the total of amount due is 10 lakhs, total of amount received and arrears is also given here. So we will proceed with our statement of issue of shares. Here we can understand that we have all the amounts written here. We have 4 installments, we have amount due, we have amount received, we have calls in arrears. So we have to just put down all these amounts into our journal entries. So friends, I have given you one trick that while discussing or while calculating the problem of issue of shares, we can understand how many journal entries are going to be made in our problem. So I have told you that on each installment you have to make 2 entries. So here are 4 installments. So you have to make 8 entries. For each installment 2 entries. So 4 installments, 8 entries will be happened into our problem. So these 8 entries for our installments, and in our problem we have given that we had forfeited our shares. So 1 entry for forfeiture, and we have reissued that forfeited shares. So 1 entry for reissue. So in this case 4 installments, 8 entries plus 1 forfeiture entries plus 1 reissue entry. Likewise 10 entries will happen. And after reissue we have to calculate whether we are enjoying profit or we are suffering loss. So we have to transfer our net value to our capital reserve. So that transfer entry will be made in our journal entry. So in this problem in total 11 journal entries will be made. So let us proceed with our journal entry part. I hope you will understand this table while calculating. I have given each calculation in brackets so that you can easily understand and easily calculate all these figures. Now let us proceed with our journal entries. So this is a format of our journal entries. Firstly, we have to write down the company's name, Journals of Rathi Industries Limited. Then our format goes like, first column is of date, second column is of particulars, third column is of ledger folio number, and amount column, debit amount and credit amount. So firstly we will write down the entry on our application, that is entry of our first installment. So we have written a heading on application. So first entry will become bank account debit to share application account. Now 10,000 shares, application money is fixed at 20 rupees. So amount will become 2 lakhs. Friends, how to make journal entries I have told you in my video. The link of this format of journal entries is given above. You can go through that video also and you can understand the format of journal entries. This is a structured format for our problem. We have to use that format and we have to put our journal entries according to that format. Now you better know that each accounting system has its own pro forma and its own format. According to that formats only we have to calculate it and we have to put that amounts into that. So we will first understand what is the format of our journal entries. If you know the format of journal entries, you can easily solve journal entries of issue of shares. This is very easy because every installment has 2 entries and these are the identical entries, so you can understand it properly. So please go through that video and you can understand how to make the entries. You can understand what is the pro forma or format of journal entries of issue of shares. So let us proceed with the next entry of share application. So application money received entry. Second entry will be share application account debit to share capital account. Whatever the amount due was received successfully. So we have written here 2 lakh rupees being application money transferred to capital. The application money which has been received to us is transferred to our capital. So these are the entries on our application. Now we will proceed with our allotment entries. Now second entry will be of allotment. So in allotment we will make first entry of amount due. So entry will be share allotment account debit to share capital account. 10,000 shares, 30 rupees was fixed on allotment. So amount will become 3 lakh rupees. Share allotment account debit to share capital account being amount due on allotment. Now second entry will be of amount received. So entry will be bank account debit to share allotment account. The amount is received successfully, so 3 lakh rupees will be written in through our amount received. Friends, these are the amounts which we have calculated in our analytical table, which we have calculated in our statement of issue of shares. There we have made all these calculations. We are just taking these amounts and putting into our journal entries. So this is very easy. We have to just see it properly and we have to just understand it keenly. Now we will proceed with our third installment, that is our first call. So the first entry in our first call will be of amount due. So share first call account debit to share capital account. 10,000 shares, first call amount is rupees 25 fixed. So amount will become 2,50,000 being amount due on first call. Likewise, the amount is fully received on our first call. So the amount received entry will be bank account debit to share first call account. So bank account is debited and share first call account is credited. Amount is fully received, so we have written 2,50,000 here being first call money received. So these are the entries of our first call. Now we will proceed with our final call. So on final call, our first entry will be of amount due. Share final call account debit to share capital account. 10,000 shares, 25 rupees were fixed on final call. So amount will become 2,50,000. So our entry will be share final call account debit to share capital account 2,50,000. Now the second entry will comes of amount received. Friends, as we have discussed earlier, one shareholder has not paid final call amount on his 100 shares. It means that 100 shares are in arrears and final call amount is received on 9,900 shares only. So amount received will vary here. We have calculated it earlier. So we will write down the entry likewise. Bank account debit to share final call account. Only 9,900 shares multiplied by 25 because 100 shares are in arrears. So amount will comes to 2,47,500 rupees being final call money received except 100 shares. So here we can understand that we have received amount of 9,900 shares only and 100 shares are in arrears. So these are the 8 entries of our 4 installments. Here you can easily understand that each installment has 2 entries. First entry is of amount due and second entry is of amount received. Now after these 8 entries, we will proceed with our next entry, that is forfeiture of 100 shares. As we have given information that these 100 shares which a shareholder has failed to pay his money, forfeit that shares. So we will forfeit these shares. Now the entry for forfeiture of shares comes as share capital account debit to share forfeited account to share final call account. Now our shares face value was rupees 100. So we have given here, I have given all the calculations here for your better understanding. So please focus on this. Firstly we will write share capital account. I have given in bracket 100 multiplied by 100. It means that 100 shares of rupees 100 each. Then share forfeited account 100 multiplied by 75. It means that we have given 4 installments of and out of that 4 installment only last installment is not paid. It means that 75 rupees is paid on that installment. So share forfeited account is 75 rupees and share final call which was fixed at 25 rupees. So we have given here 100 shares multiplied by rupees 25. So amount will come 10,000 to debit and 7,500 to share forfeited account and 2,500 to share final call account. And likewise we will make the entry of forfeiture. I will repeat this entry once again. Share capital account debit 10,000 to share forfeited account 7,500 to share final call account 2,500. So this is an entry of our forfeiture. Now we have told that out of these forfeited shares you have to reissue all the shares and which are fully paid at rupees 90 per share. It means that a face value of share was fixed at rupees 90, but these shares fixed at rupees 100, but now these shares are reissued at rupees 90. It means that we can understand these shares are reissued at discount. So what will be the entry for reissue of shares? So here we have to make the entry of discount, issue of shares at discount. So entry will become bank account debit 90 rupees for 100 shares. Share forfeited account debit, discount is given of rupees 10 into 100 to share capital account, because capital amount doesn't change, will not change at any cost. So capital will be of rupees 10,000 only. So we have to write down bank account debit 9,000, share forfeited account debit 1,000. Share forfeited, it means that we have given discount, so I have given into the bracket discount amount 1,000 to share capital account 10,000. So here you can understand that we have 9,000 rupees in bank, 1,000 rupees we have given discount. It means it is our loss of 1,000 rupees and 10,000 rupees are transferred to our share capital. Here I have given narration being reissue of shares at discount. Now if you go through properly with both of these entries, in share forfeiture entry you can understand that we have balance of rupees 7,500 in our share forfeited account. In last entry in forfeiture we have 7,500 balance. Now share forfeited account was credited in that entry. Here share forfeited account is debited of rupees 1,000 rupees. So we have to make the difference. Now 7,500 minus 1,000 comes to rupees 6,500. Now this 6,500 rupees is our profit on forfeiture. We have earned profit on our forfeiture. So we have to transfer this profit amount to our capital reserve, because this is a capital profit and this is a capital gain. So we have to transfer it to our capital reserve. Friends, please understand how we have calculated this amount. We have 7,500 amount in our forfeiture entry in our share forfeited account, and we had 1,000 amount in our share forfeited account in our reissue entry. So the difference, we make the calculation, we have the amount of 6,500 available with us, and this 6,500 is our profit on forfeiture. So this profit we will transfer to our capital reserve. So the last entry of this problem is of transfer of net gain will be like this: share forfeited account debit to capital reserve account. Here you can see that share forfeited account is debited and capital reserve account is credited, and amount is given at rupees 6,500. Because we have balance of 7,500 rupees in our share forfeited account, but we have given discount of rupees 1,000 while reissuing, so that loss will be overcome from that amount only. So out of 7,500 we have spent 1,000 on discount, so we have balance of rupees 6,500 only. So this 6,500 we will transfer to our capital reserve account. So this is transferred to our capital reserve account. So friends, likewise we have completed our journal entries. Now in the problem we have been asked to prepare balance sheet. So we will write here our balance sheet. Now we know that we have 10,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, as we have received application of rupees 10,000 and 100 rupees for per share is fixed. So our share capital will become 10 lakh rupees. So here on the liability side, the first entry will be of share capital 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Now capital reserve is always written on liability side, so we can understand that capital reserve is of 6,500. And if we go through our journal entries and if we totalized our bank account, so the total of all the bank account comes to 10 lakhs 6,500 rupees. So on asset side we will write cash at bank and it will comes to 10 lakh 6,500 rupees. Likewise, we have written capital reserve on liability side. So the total of our balance sheet will comes to 10 lakh 6,500. So friends, likewise we have completed our problem and we have calculated our statement of issue of shares. We have solved our journal entries and we have also shown our balance sheet. I hope you will understand this problem. For better understanding, you can go through the basics of our issue of shares. The links of these videos I have given in the description box. You can click on that link and can go for that videos also for better understanding. So friends, we will meet in our next video with our next problem along with its solution and along with all the working notes. Till then, please keep watching, keep studying, keep knowing and keep sharing. Thank you.